And I think that's my biggest issue with it. Like, if you were spreading information about like port wine stains and birthmarks and people with different skin, totally different. To be used in the way that I'm being used right now, it's icky.
13 Lune, I'm not gonna drop this until I get paid what I'm owed. Over $50,000 I'm owed. And you just think you're just not gonna pay me? I'm not gonna say anything. One thing about me, I don't like to be taken advantage of.
Benefit went in and they were like, Elf, you have a mascara called Lash and Roll, and we have Roller Lash, and what you did is wrong, so we are suing you. Well, we have a conclusion to this lawsuit. It didn't settle. It went all the way through the process, and the judge ruled. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup, where we talk about everything that happened across the beauty space, all in one place. And today we are jumping right in with a story about e.l.f. Cosmetics and Benefit Cosmetics. And I actually did a full video on this when it first happened about the lawsuit between the two companies fighting over mascara, because Benefit went in and they were like, Elf, you have a mascara called Lash and Roll, and we have Roller Lash, and what you did is wrong. You copied our design, and we think that there's going to be brand confusion, that there are going to be people who are going to buy the Elf one thinking it's our Benefit one. That is not right, so we are suing you. Well, we have a conclusion to this lawsuit. It didn't settle. It went all the way through the process, and the judge ruled. Pursuant to the opinion and order docket number 178 and Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 58, judgment is entered in favor of defendant e.l.f. Cosmetics Inc. and against plaintiff Benefit Cosmetics LLC on plaintiff's cause of action under the Lanham Act, California Common Law, and California Business Professions Code Section 17200. It is so ordered. Sometimes it happens the first time I do it, and sometimes it takes twice. Anyway, it is so ordered, and I love how when they do that in legal proceedings, I don't know why it amuses me, it's always in all caps. It's like they're yelling, like, okay, now y'all stop. It's over. And to make it even worse for Benefit, the court ordered that Benefit Cosmetics pay the court costs of over $85,000. So this is how it went down. Benefit presented the argument that e.l.f. was using Roller Lash specifically as a model in order to sell their products. And e.l.f. came back and were like, well, yeah. That's exactly what we were doing. We were inspired by the Roller Lash, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to present to customers a similar enough look so that they would see it as a lower cost option. They outright admitted it in court documents. But the question was, would customers be confused and accidentally buy the e.l.f. product thinking it was a Benefit product? And what the big decider here was the outer packaging that you see when you go into a store. So this here is the Benefit outer box, and this is the e.l.f. outer box. And as you can see, they are extremely different. The court did recognize that Benefit had trademarks and patents and all of that, and they were well within their rights to protect those legal things. However, the e.l.f. product wasn't similar enough to infringe on that. So in the court, Benefit proved that e.l.f. produced a dupe of their product. But the thing is, dupes here in the US are not illegal. They had to prove that e.l.f. was duping customers into buying it, and they could not prove that at all. So e.l.f. won this one, in my opinion, very rightly. But if you think e.l.f. is the hero in every story, I get it, because usually they are, to be honest. Pretty much every time I've ever covered anything with e.l.f. and drama on this show, e.l.f., I'm on their side. They're usually doing really amazing things. Well, that bubble is about to burst, and I will tell you, I will probably get a little heated about this because it really pisses me off. Enter e.l.f. beads. They sell bracelets and beads. The little beads that you can change out, and they're super artsy. Well, you know what e.l.f. is doing, e.l.f. Cosmetics? They have filed a lawsuit to cancel the trademark for e.l.f. beads. e.l.f. beads is filed under a small business called Mila's Jewelry LLC. I found the filing, and for free, I will link it down below. You can download some of the PDFs and read them for yourself about what's going on with this lawsuit. e.l.f. Beads did put something up on their Instagram, and I'm going to read it to you just in case you are not able to read your screen. This is what it said. We've launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover the legal costs of defending e.l.f. beads. If you'd like to support or share, you can find the link in our bio. I'll put it in the video description as well. A giant corporation, e.l.f. Beauty, is trying to erase our name, and with it, everything we've built. And now we need your heart beside ours. For years, e.l.f. Beads has quietly grown into a world of its own, filled with handcrafted silver and glass, made with care, magic, and deep meaning. Every bead we create carries a little light, a little story, a little wonder. But recently, we learned that a large beauty corporation, e.l.f. Beauty, the owner of e.l.f. Cosmetics, has filed a legal action to cancel our trademark simply because our name includes the word e.l.f. We're not part of the beauty industry. We've never competed with them. We exist in a completely different space, one of artistry, emotion, and connection. This action feels like a mistake, but if it goes through, it could take away more than just a name. It could take away a brand built with love, a livelihood that supports our family and brings joy to yours. We believe in kindness. We believe in art. We believe in the community strength of beauty shared, and now we believe in you, our community. If this doesn't feel right to you, please share this post. Your voice can help protect the beauty we've made together. Tag at e.l.f. Cosmetics to help our story be seen by the right people. Sometimes it takes a gentle nudge to remind hearts to pause and listen. Get this, in the filing, e.l.f. Cosmetics is saying that the reason for the lawsuit is priority and likelihood of confusion and dilution by blurring. Let's just take a second to examine the two logos. This is e.l.f. Cosmetics logo. This is e.l.f. Beads logo. They are so different. And to my knowledge, e.l.f. Cosmetics has never sold beads. e.l.f. Beads has never sold cosmetics. The closest thing is that e.l.f. Cosmetics does own a trademark for adhesive face and body jewelry. They filed that in 2023. e.l.f. Beads filed their trademark in 2021, so it precedes that. If anything, e.l.f. Beads could probably sue e.l.f. Cosmetics for selling those face gems. I don't think they would win, but they have a better case there than e.l.f. Cosmetics has against them right now. e.l.f. Cosmetics in the suit argues that e.l.f. Beads knew of e.l.f. Cosmetics before filing, and that the marks are highly similar in appearance, sound, and overall commercial impression. No, they're not. They absolutely are not. And this is the thing. If you look at the lawsuit, they have a proposed schedule of the different actions they're looking at, and they're thinking this is going to stretch well into the fall of 2026. Y'all, this is just my mom in my basement opinion, but I think this is absolute bullshit. It feels like bullying. It is so wrong. It feels like e.l.f. Cosmetics, with all their billions and billions of dollars, are just bullying this small brand for no reason. And what really makes me mad is that e.l.f. Cosmetics has built their brand on so much positivity and so many good things. And I've seen this happen with other brands doing things like this, but I would never have expected this from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is so messed up. I mean, what are they going to do next? Go after e.l.f. on a shelf? Do we need to put Santa on notice? Like, what is even happening? So as always, I would love to know your thoughts down below. This is just really irritating to me, and I'm honestly shocked that e.l.f. Cosmetics would do this. I've got one more story where I'm super irritated, but I feel like it's for very good reason. And what it comes down to is that back a long time ago, when beauty channels on YouTube were really, really big and beauty drama channels were really, really big, we had a couple of bad actors in the space as far as drama channels, where they would take like a shred of truth and then they would spin it and outright lie or twist things in a way that's really not what happened. But I do feel like the drama channels that are out now, at least the ones that I've seen recently, don't really do that anymore. They're more about reporting what actually happened and then giving commentary on their thoughts about what's happening. Unfortunately, this is where Dante Onika comes in. He is primarily a TikTok creator who talks about beauty drama and drama in the celebrity celebrity space, pop culture kinds of stuff. The last time we talked about Dante on What's Up in Makeup was when he went after James Charles. And y'all know I am not a fan of James Charles. I did an 8-hour and 45-minute docuseries on James Charles and how problematic he is. So this is in no way meant to stand up for James Charles, but what it is standing up for is truth. If we are going to criticize someone, if we're going to accuse someone of something, it should be based on real, legit facts. And there are plenty of things to criticize James Charles about. But what Dante did was when James Charles came out with his cream blushes, there was a little bit of an issue where some of the oil was seeping through the product. And what he did was he made a video insinuating that James Charles's blushes had mold. And he screenshotted it when it had a shine on it from the light so that it looked really weird and questionable. But if you watch the full video, it was clearly just an oil spot with a shine on it. And that was really irritating to me. And we talked about it here on What's Up in Makeup.
James, weak ass motherfucking Charles, just responded to all the backlash over his moldy blushes. Well, now the blushes have been sent out and the girls have been receiving them, and it's moldy the how.
Now he's doing the same thing to Mikayla, but this one to me is so much worse. I don't follow Dante, but this came up on my feed. Allow me to introduce you to Becca Lee Beauty. She is on TikTok and Instagram, mostly reviewing cosmetics, and she was born with a port wine birthmark on her face. And Dante, being the that he is, he put Becca Lee's picture in his thumbnail talking about how Mikayla's new product from POV, the Whip It, was causing allergic reactions. In the video, he actually shows a clip from a woman who does claim that the Whip It gave her an allergic reaction.
Mikayla Nogueira has found herself in even more drama after her new brand Point of View is receiving major backlash from customers because it's breaking their skin out in hives, including me, honey.
On the full Mikayla POV collection because it sold out, but I was able to get my hands on the Whip It, and I have really dry skin. So I thought having the moisturizer was going to be a safe bet. If I liked it, I would buy everything else. This is my face after using it.
Oh!
And it's itching. It's itching. It feels like little ants are crawling on my skin.
Oh no.
What do I do?
So fans are noticing that they're having allergic reactions after using this specific product, Whip It.
But what kills me about this is that he never identifies who she is. He doesn't tag her. He doesn't credit her. I think that that's super rude. But on top of that, Dante claims that the Mikayla POV products also made his eczema act up.
And I've been having the same reaction on my skin, girlies. And it's not okay. Mikayla, I'm suing you, honey. So I have been using the full skincare line for about 3 days now. And one thing I will say is Amp It, I've been using this religiously. But I notice when I talk a lot, it'll get like white and like crusty around my lip. Now the Whip It product, okay, a clean makeup wipe, clean face, nothing on me. That's nothing on my face. That redness is really there. Here, but I also have acne prone skin as well and eczema. This, I swear to you not, it has flared up my eczema so much. I've been using this every single time I put on my makeup and like before I go to bed. This generally has been making my eczema go like really bad on my eyes. And like, guys, this is not face paint. Like, this is not me trying to trick you. Like, that's my real eczema acting up. I don't know what's in this product, but Mikayla, you're a brand found order now and you're going to have to figure this out, honey. Ooh.
If you look closely at when he talks about it in the beginning, it looks like to me, and I wasn't there, I don't know this for sure, it's just what this appears to be to me, that he has pink or red eyeshadow on. And then he cuts to when he's using the makeup remover wipe and trying to show you that he doesn't have any product on. Girl, if you know anything about red and pink eyeshadows, you know they typically stain. And that's what this appears to be to me. It looks like the pink eyeshadow or red eyeshadow or whatever stained his eyes. This does not look like eczema to me at all. But again, that's just an opinion.
Hey Dante, how about you don't use my face in this way? This was a fun little thing to wake up to. I'll play the video here.
Mikayla has found herself in even more drama after her new brand Point of View is receiving major backlash from customers because it's breaking their skin out in hives, including me, honey.
The audacity that you had to not only use my face but also not tag me shows me that you know you did something not okay. Okay? While I didn't give her like a super, super glowing review, I did not mind her products. And guess what? There's no reaction. I have a port wine stain birthmark and nevus of Oda. This is just how my face looks. And this is why I continue to do what I do, because there needs to be a voice and an advocate for people who look and feel different so that we don't get used in this way. It's so disgusting, the behavior. I really just have no words to say other than this is so gross, and I ask that you immediately take this down because using my face in this way is not okay.
I debated about even covering this story because I don't want to give Dante air, but the thing is Dante has a really big following over on TikTok, 640,000 followers. And I have a feeling if you watch a lot of TikTok and he hasn't already crossed your feed, he may in the future. So I wanted to give you a heads up on what kind of creator he's presenting himself to be. And if you did not think this could get worse, oh, it gets worse because Dante uploaded an apology of sorts. It was more of an excuse video. Now I can't show that to you because he's deleted it. What I can show you is Becca Lee's reaction to that video that Dante put up.
Nah, this guy just, I didn't think he could do it, but he did it. Even more. Let's listen to his apology he just gave me.
I need to apologize for this video that I made yesterday where I claimed that this girl in the corner was having an allergic reaction to Mikayla's new brand Point of View, because apparently it was a birthmark.
Apparently it was a birthmark. If you got that far in the video, you would have been able to figure out that my face started like that in the video.
We're gonna talk about my point of view. Now, I personally have not seen anybody do this yet, but I am gonna do a comparison side by side of Mikayla's point of view products versus my normal, what I use all the time.
Also, it was not an apology because you didn't even at me. You didn't bother to privately message me and apologize. And you haven't taken down the content, have you? No. Why? Because you still want those clicks, those views, those likes.
Well, I didn't give her like a super, super glowing review, yes, but I can't get my notes, so that's not helpful. I will say for my skin, it is feeling a little bit heavy at this point. People are reacting to Mikayla's products, which maybe they are. I don't know. I guess they are. Because
You're also pissing me off because you're clipping my content to fit your narrative. While I said I did not give her a glowing, raving review, I still said I liked the products. I didn't say you had to run out and buy them right away because that's not how I felt. And that's okay. I said I had an issue with her packaging, and that's okay.
And now I'm going to show you in real time. You have to find the right spot to get it to move, which is fine. Like, it will get there eventually. But to me, that is a little bit of an issue. Okay, there we go. So then the second issue I was having was once I got it here, it was not fully clicking into place. So for people who are saying like, you need to just push it out, I couldn't because it was like this, because I couldn't get it to fully click. Once you get it to fully click, yes, it does what it's supposed to do.
But you clipping this to fit your narrative is so disgusting. And then the fact that you're trying to bring something else into this without even addressing me is wild. Wild.
The day after all of this went down, Dante did come back with an unrelated post, and people are roasting him in the comments. I would say 95% of the comments are people yelling at him about what he did to Becca Lee. And as of the time I'm filming, he hasn't posted since, which is really unusual for him. Now, my immediate thought was, well, maybe he's sorry. Maybe he's just feeling really bad and he just needs to take a break. And then about 30 seconds later, I was like, absolutely not, because I was scrolling through his TikToks, and though he deleted the explanation/apology thing that he made, he didn't even delete the misinformation that he had put up with Becca's picture in the thumbnail. And in my opinion, if he was actually sorry, if he was actually reflecting, he would have deleted that and not the apology/explanation, or deleted both. I'm going to play you one more little clip from Becca Lee where she thanks people for their support.
I am so beyond disgusted with the behavior of this person. But it truly is because I really am sick of people like me being used for views and likes and follows in a way that's also just misrepresenting us. And I think that's my biggest issue with it. Like, if you were spreading information about like port wine stains and birthmarks and people with different skin, totally different. But to be used in the way that I'm being used right now, it's icky. It makes me feel icky. It makes me feel icky for the person who like I used to be, because there was a person who would have never been able to feel like they had a voice or be able to feel like they could stand up to someone, and I know that I have fellow birthmark people who still feel that way. And so for me, it's just important to get that message out that it's not okay to use us like this.
I'm going to use some harsh language to describe Dante, and that is not typical of me. I don't typically name call like this, but it feels very appropriate to call Dante absolute and total trash. And what do we do with trash? We do not harass the trash. We do not threaten the trash. We block the trash. So you can go over to Instagram and or TikTok, and you can actually go to his account and block him so he does not show up on your feed. That will directly affect his money. And if you do happen to see him on your feed, the best thing you can do is just scroll really, really quickly. Now, I am not the boss of you. I am not your mom. So I am not telling you what to do. You do what you want. If you decide that you enjoy Dante's content for entertainment purposes only, that is your prerogative. You have an absolute right to do that. All I want to do is make sure that you know what kind of creator he has presented himself to be. And when he speaks, please take anything he says with a huge, giant, salt lamp worthy grain of salt. Because chances are whatever he's saying is not what actually happened. Whew, I have taken a sip of my coffee, I have taken a deep breath, and we are moving on from the things that anger me to multi-level marketing, because we have another MLM company that sold cosmetic products that has closed, and that is a company called Modere. They sold body products, but they also sold like houseware stuff. That's what happens with a lot of MLM companies. They start off with one kind of product and then they expand outwards. They sold housewares, they sold vitamins and supplements, they sold appetite suppressant supplements, just all kinds of stuff. Reportedly, the company sold over 3 million products globally on a platform of natural and free from harmful ingredients such as parabens. So that's another strike against them for me. So this MLM abruptly closed. If you go to their website now, this is what it says. Thank you for the journey. After 23 wonderful years of serving our cherished community, we've made the difficult decision to close our doors. We're incredibly grateful for your support, trust, and loyalty over the years. Whether you've been with us from the beginning or just discovered us recently, thank you for being a part of our story. And according to Instagram accounts, as I was kind of searching for information on this, they gave their reps 0 notice. I screen captured a few of them, so if you would like to pause to read the way that the reps are reacting, you can feel free to do that. There was one person who had just recently quit her job in order to do Modere full time. There was another person that had been selling Modere for 10 years. I will admit I don't know very much about Modere because I am not deep in the anti-MLM world. I just kind of dabble in it here and there when it's beauty and cosmetic related. But what I did read in my research is that prior to the shutting down, there were a lot of lawsuits. There were people that were really big in the company, some of the top people in the company that left, and then there were lawsuits even suing some of those people. It seems like it was a complete and total mess. But the big reason why I want to share this with you is because there still are a lot of beauty MLMs out there, and I know some of you may be thinking about joining one or are just started to join one or are not seeing success in them. The big red flag to listen for, and this is evidence of this Modere is evidence of this, is when they say that you are building your own business. If you were truly building your own business, you would be able to choose when the business shuts down. And in MLM world, the reps have no choice and often get no or very, very little notice before the business shuts down. So what this one woman who'd been building for 10 years, building all of those ranks and the clients and the downline and all of that, it's all just erased in a second. I also wanted to read to you a post from a woman named Susie who left Modere about a year ago. She said on her Instagram, "When I was crushing ranks in just a few months, I was everyone's favorite. But then came the pressure. Recruit, recruit, recruit. Not because they cared about people, but because that's how the top made their money. They didn't sell, they pushed others to do the work. And I hated that. I wasn't in this to bother people. I was in this to help people heal because at the time I believed in the products." And then she goes into admitting that she is gloating at the downfall of Modere because she says people were manipulated, lied to, made to feel like they weren't enough unless they hustled for someone else's gain. I feel for those who gave everything chasing empty promises, thinking that their worth was tied to ranks and volume. Usually when an MLM shuts down, people from MLMs that are still going, people that are the representatives for those companies will go over and try to get the reps from the closed company to come and join their teams. This post is a classic example. I'm going to put everything up because you need to see the picture in order to understand the post. This is what it reads. In July, when Saint, which was an MLM makeup company, transitioned from a network marketing model to affiliate only, I was devastated. I needed time to grieve and process, not DMs asking me to jump into something new. Even though I knew people meant well, it still didn't sit right. So now, as someone who also worked with Modere before I ever found Saint, I want to say this. I'm not here to poach. I'm here to pray, to support, and to walk alongside the friends and leaders I care so deeply about. Because I'll never forget those who gave me space and love when my world flipped. Having said that, I do feel a freedom to share this now that Modere's doors have closed. The photo on the left was taken after 2.5 years of consistently using Modere's liquid biocell collagen twice a day. The photo on the right, just 70 days of LifeVantage's liquid collagen once a day. The difference is shocking. I've never openly stated that my old collagen was Modere out of respect for the incredible community. But now I feel it's okay to be fully transparent. This collagen is different. Scientifically, visibly, and in the way it's impacted skin, joints, energy, and hair. It's unlike anything else on the market. If you're going to be needing a new collagen, this is the best there is. Comment GLOW25 for info. And there are a ton of people that commented GLOW25 for info. And I was like, oh my gosh, for reals. But there is a bit of a twist in this story. As you might know, I have a Facebook group called the What's Up in Makeup Facebook Hunters, and people from the community can go over there and it's just a dumping ground. It's a place to put things that people find that maybe I haven't seen, and this was something I hadn't seen. Keisha put over there in the group a screenshot of something she saw on her personal feed because she has friends from back when she was in MLM. She still is friends with them on Facebook, and a few of them posted this message from Modere, and it is absolutely wild. Again, putting it on the screen for you to read. Here is the summary. It turns out Modere may not be closing after all. They start off the letter, "Dear valued Modere community, as you know, a few weeks ago we announced the closure of Modere," and then they go into that apparently a restructuring firm stepped in and they're evaluating a different path forward other than closing down, and they are working toward making products available again soon. So the big question is, will it come back as an MLM? Or will it come back as an affiliate structure the way that a lot of MLMs are going? And this is just my conspiracy theory, allegedly, just a conspiracy theory. I have zero proof of this. It's just my prediction. I think they're going to come back as an affiliate and that this closure was a way to cut all of their reps out in one swift chop. But again, that's just my theory. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Oh my gosh, I meant to tell you this last week and I completely forgot. I have an update for you on 13 Lune. And I personally first became familiar with 13 Lune when they took Sephora's place inside JCPenney. And a couple of What's Up Makeups ago, we talked about how 13 Lune was in big trouble. The down and dirty of it is that they weren't paying their vendors. So what JCPenney did was they stepped in and they were like, okay, vendors, from now on, you're going to go through our buyer, you're going to go through us. 13 Lune can sort out the other stuff. We'll take you from here. But it seems like 13 Lune still owes a lot of people a lot of money, including MannyMUA, who owns Lunar Beauty. Manny took to his socials to share how 13 Lune still owes him about $50,000.
13 Lune is actually a retailer, and they carried Lunar Beauty, which is why I'm owed, over 50K. And the reason I started working with them is because I loved that their brand mission was all about basically creating a Sephora for POC, like having predominantly POC, founders and brands inside their store that they carried. I thought that was really cool. And I felt very, happy and proud to be a Latino owned brand, family business inside a retailer like that. So recently an article came out about one of the founders, Mikayla, who alleged that they have been embezzling money from the company. This company that owes me money and a lot of other founders, I'm sure, money as well, and other brands inside that store money, who is using, apparently, this is hearsay, this is what the article is saying, big article, ink. And Miss Mikayla has been using that 13 Lune coin for Taylor Swift tickets, for fat removal, for, so many different things that a family trip that she should not be using the company's money for. Me and my team have been professionals. We've been going the nice route this entire time, just emailing, being like, hey, you still owe us this, these POs, etc. And they're still not paying us. So I'm tired of being nice. I'm done. I'm actually done with being nice. I'm actually not gonna start calling these bitches off. They keep trying me. So, nice Manny's gone for now. 13 Lune co-founder and CEO Nikeo Greco is accused of embezzlement. A lawsuit alleges that entrepreneur spent more than $165,000 in company funds on Taylor Swift tickets, vacations, and more. $7,500 on Taylor Swift tickets, $20,000 on flights, $15,600 on family vacation in Mexico, $13,000 on cellulite removal treatments, $8,700 on Amazon. Maybe spend your money on what you're spending money on, but the gag is that it doesn't seem like it was your money that you're spending that on. Seems like it was the company's money, the company that owes so many brands and founders so much money. Isn't that crazy? 13 Lune, I'm not gonna drop this until I get paid what I'm owed. Over $50,000 I'm owed. And you just think you're just not gonna pay me? I'm not gonna say anything. One thing about me, I don't like to be taken advantage of. Seems like you guys are taking advantage of a lot of people. And if you're a brand in 13 Lune that still has been owed money, you should comment down below, because I would love to know which other brands are owed money from that retailer. And I think that we should continue to talk about it until we're paid what we're owed.
Now, 13 Lune is in that process of assignment for the benefit of creditors. This is kind of a, we're trying not to go into bankruptcy process where the legal teams are sorting things out and trying to get everybody paid and trying to figure all of that out. So I'm hoping that Manny and Lunar Beauty get their money back. As always, I will continue following the story and let you know if there are any updates. Did you get anything at the Sephora sale this year? I will tell you that I did not. Ever since I cut back on doing makeup reviews on this channel, I've spent significantly less on makeup. I have so many things that I enjoy using, and it's giving me time to just really enjoy what I have. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of us in this community have a lot of products, and it's like, do we really need more? So a lot of us have cut back. I just passed my 13-year anniversary here on YouTube, and in those 13 years, this is the first year that I'm not even a VIB. I was Rouge for many years. As a beauty insider, I only got 10% off, which if you think about brand sales, I haven't seen a 10% off brand sale in a really long time. So 10% really isn't a lot. So what I did was I went over to the Ulta 20% off sale and I bought some essentials. I got some some of my favorite hairspray to have upstairs in my bathroom. I have one down here and I love it, but I wanted one up in my bathroom, so I bought that. I got Phoenix some dry shampoo. I mean, I just got some little essential things, some little bits and bobs here and there, but I didn't spend a ton of money. There is a fascinating article in Beauty Independent this past week that goes over the data of the Sephora sale, and it looks like sales are significantly down for this year. The data was from a market research company called Yipit Data, and it showed that makeup and hair care sales for the event, which ran from April 4th to April 14th, were each down around 15% in stores and online, but skincare was even worse. Sales slipped 25%. The big winner, however, was fragrance. Those sales went up, they say, a high single-digit percentage from last year, so I guess that's like 8 or 9%. They did also put up a chart of the 10 best-selling brands at the Sephora sale and how they contributed to the overall sales from the event. So, of course, Sephora collection sold the most, 30% off for everyone can do that. They had the highest share at 4.7% of all of the sales during the sale. That was followed by the L'Occitane-owned Sol de Janeiro and hair care brand Kerastase, each at 2% of sales. Those top 10 brands that they're showing in the chart accounted for about 20% of the total sales of the Sephora event. Another brand to watch is Mona Katan's Kylie, who was not only one of the top 10 brands, but also showed a significant increase in sales this year. Now, surprisingly, some of the top brands at Sephora, Rare Beauty and Fenty Beauty, did not meet their expectations for sales. I'm sure those expectations were really high, but they didn't meet them. So why are sales down overall? Well, Beauty Independent cites stiff competition with both Amazon and TikTok Shop, because this is the thing. If brands want to sell in Sephora, there is a significant overhead to the point where some brands can be what they call cannibalized by being sold at a place like Sephora, meaning that they sell so much at Sephora where they pay this crazy overhead that people stop shopping at their website where they really make their money, and it ends up killing the brand. So these sales channels, Amazon and TikTok Shop, the brands are able to set their own sales, their own prices, their own bundles, all of that, and then they don't have the ridiculous overhead that Sephora charges. And people are shopping at Amazon and TikTok Shop. Specifically TikTok Shop, they have this data point. They say it took 2 years for TikTok Shop to hit the $2 billion in sales mark. They cite that Ulta Beauty took 20 years to hit $2 billion in sales, which to me is absolutely wild. A second reason cited in the article is just the overall uncertainty in our US economy right now, with tariffs coming down the pike and thousands of government workers losing their jobs. There's just a lot of uncertainty. Our current administration is making some very quick and very rash decisions that don't make a lot of sense to a lot of Americans, and people are, in my opinion, rightfully nervous about making purchases that aren't necessary. I mean, people are looking at their collections. It's like, do I really need to spend $50 on an eyeshadow palette when I need to make sure I can pay my mortgage, my rent, my car payment, my electric bill? Because people don't know how much prices are going to increase. So that also may have been a factor. I do want to note, however, that beauty sales have been dipping for a while, way before January when Trump was reelected. So I don't think the downturn in sales can be completely attributed to the new administration that stepped in January. But as always, I want to know what you think down in the comment section down below. Why do you think sales were down at Sephora? Let me know.
All right, fun part. We have 2 ads this week. And you know, I love showing you ads because brands can just get really creative. The first one has to do with the beauty industry. It's kind of a little insight into the beauty industry. The second one has to do with armpit hair. And I personally have no problem with armpit hair at all. It is natural, no issues. But based on previous times we've talked about armpit hair, because believe it or not, we have talked about armpit hair in the past, some of you all don't like it. So if you don't like that, just so you know, that's the next story. And that's your fair warning. But let's jump into the first one, which comes from The Ordinary. The Ordinary has always pushed the limits of what's okay to share with consumers about what's happening behind the scenes, and this is another example of that. So if you're in the Soho area of New York City today is the last day to see this pop-up exhibit that they have. It's a display called The Secret Ingredient. Visitors can travel through interactive exhibits, photo moments, and one-on-one discussions with scientists. And the secret ingredient, the big message, is about how much brands pay for celebrity endorsements. What The Ordinary is saying is that when a company signs a celebrity, they pass that cost on to consumers in the price of the product. And that's one way that The Ordinary is able to keep their prices so low. And you may know I did a full documentary on the history of The Ordinary. It is an absolute banger. If you haven't watched it, especially part 2 is so interesting. I will link it down below for you. But what I learned in that was that The Ordinary has always been anti-advertising. Brandon Truax, who was the founder of the brand, he did not feel like spending most of the money in advertising was a good idea. Instead, he really pushed for spending their money, their budget on formulation, on research, on making sure that they were making the best products possible in the formulation. So the press release that The Ordinary put out about this pop-up exhibit says, with some celebrity endorsements raising product prices by 30 to 100% or more, and some A-list stars charging up to $10 million for a single post, that is wild. The Ordinary is creating a storefront that offers an artistic visual representation of what those inflated prices could cost consumers. While the brand acknowledges the value of celebrities, it believes that they shouldn't contribute to the rising prices of essential skincare. So the pop-up shop is located at 433 Broadway, New York City. The last day is today. It runs from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you choose to go and you put up pictures on Instagram, please tag me at JENLUV's Reviews so I can see them. All right, are you ready for armpits? Because I find this hilarious. Billie, the shaving company, they are so good at their advertisements. I'm in love with their ad team over there. It's so good. They're always pushing the boundaries in the ad space, and this is no different. They put up these posters also in New York City, and you will have more time to go see it. The posters will be on display until May 16th. They're near Penn Station at 505 8th Avenue. And if you choose to visit, you will have a chance to smell their new deodorant scent. It is called Cocoa Villa, and you'll be able to go up close and personal by going to a large photo of a hairy armpit and scratching and sniffing. Cocoa Villa is tropical inspired with notes of coconut and vanilla. Now, I am going to put up the full ad. It is a little aggressive and wild in the visuals of it. So if that bothers you, look away for about 20 seconds. Honestly, I think the best part of this campaign is watching the people go up and scratch and sniff the armpits. I don't know. I'm a child. I think it is absolutely genius and hilarious. And that, my friend, was what's up in makeup this week. Thank you so, so much for watching. And of course, as always, thank you to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you so much. I know I haven't done a product report in a while, but I appreciate you still putting those products up there. I do hope to do a product report again soon. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to get my next deep dive up for you. So I just didn't invest the time in a product report this week because my next deep dive is going to be on the brand Too Faced. It is another banger, y'all. I found out so much interesting information about behind the scenes at Too Faced and some things that I don't think anybody that's done one of these rise and falls of Too Faced, some new stuff that I don't think has been covered in those videos. So I'm really excited for you to see it. I just finished the script script yesterday, so I'm gonna be filming it next week and hopefully have it up for you next Friday. So that's where I put my time this week instead of doing a product report. But hunters, thank you for continuing to put products up there. I'm hoping to be able to do a product report after I get the Too Faced video up for you. I also want to remind you that we are having our live chat today at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Feel free to join us. If you can't, you can always watch it on the replay by going to your subscription feed. It should be hanging out there, but if you're not subscribed, that's okay. You don't have to be subscribed. You can go over to my channel page, click on the live tab. It's there as well. Thank you for watching What's Been Makeup. I hope you loved it as much as I love making it for you. If you would like to hang out on my channel a little longer, I would invite you to stay. I would love for you to stay. YouTube should be recommending a couple videos over here for you. The bottom one is going to be last week's top news segment. The top one is going to be one YouTube's going to pick for you because they, you know, that's how Google works. They know what you've been watching. So they're going to recommend something to you. But if you got to go, I get it. It is no problem. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you. I'll see you in a video soon.